Today, I'm going to teach you how to build an audience in 2023, and I'm going to teach you how to build an audience of buyers, because it's not enough to have an audience that doesn't buy anything, right? You can't build an audience off of that. And we're going to go through how things are different today than they may have been even as recently as a year ago. Because when we're in boom times, everybody's buying things, you can kind of get away with not building a long-term audience and go right for the sale. You might have seen this in a lot of the coaching funnels. What people were teaching a year or two ago was that you should run ads straight to a VSL, put people on a strategy call, and you're making sales, and you're building an email list, and it buys over the short term, but you're not really building an audience of people that follow you for a really long time and buy from you over and over and over again. The strategy changes when we're not in these crazy boom times, because the buyer cycle is longer, because people don't buy on day one as frequently as they do during the really great boom times. Your audience is the secret weapon to having seven-figure businesses. I've helped hundreds of people build seven-figure businesses, and the secret is, can you get an audience that likes you enough to buy from you over and over and over again? All right, so if you're listening to the podcast right now, you can't see that I've got this beautiful whiteboard here behind me, but I'm going to draw out what I call the traffic triangle. The traffic triangle is how we can get people to engage with our stuff, buy our products, and come back to us over and over again. I call it the traffic triangle because I'm in the Illuminati. And the traffic triangle is three things. The first one is obviously traffic. The second is conversion. And the third is something that I'm going to call the hopper. And a hopper is just engagement. It's a place where we can engage with our audience frequently and stay with them top of mind. Now, we have to have all three of these pieces. People who fail at building audiences only do one of these three things. I'll give you an example. Conversion is where Amazon sellers fail, because people who are selling on Amazon just get the conversion and they wonder why people don't come back and buy from them over and over again. It's because they've only got one part of the triangle. Influencers who have a ton of exposure on Instagram or even YouTube to some extent, they just have exposure. They just have eyeballs. They don't have real engagement or conversion. This is why you see influencers who launch a t-shirt brand and they sell 26 units. It's because they don't have an audience that buys from them. It's also difficult to take people from an exposure channel like Instagram and turn them into buyers. But we'll do that by building the traffic triangle. And these three pieces all work together to create trust and to create bonding and to ultimately lead to a sale. So let me walk you through what each of these three things are. Traffic is your exposure. This is where we get in front of people. I had a friend say once, there's not a lack of traffic out there. You don't have a traffic problem. There's all kinds of traffic out there. You just got to go out there and step in front of it. You can do this in 1,000 different ways. You can do this by creating short-form content, long-form content, or the easiest and fastest is ads, right? And if you don't have a ton of capital, it doesn't matter. You can still run ads, but you don't have to spend ads. It's my favorite, and I'll explain how we're using it here in a second. Traffic is how we're getting in front of people, just how people become aware of us. Now, the hopper piece is what most people skip. This is our engagement. This is where people are really bonding with the brand or the person. And there are really three ways to build this hopper. There are Facebook groups, which are really popular with a lot of businesses because it grows organically. You can have direct engagement with your potential customers. If you're selling high-ticket stuff, Facebook groups are awesome. They're awesome for high-ticket stuff. There is also, and this is what I do, there's YouTube and podcast. Now, why those? Because that is where people will engage with you for decent amounts of time. For a while, podcasts were the highest converting hopper because people spent the most amount of time consuming content from that person. I heard Ty Lopez say once that if you can get someone to engage with you for a total of 7 hours, you have a really hot prospect. 7 hours. So what is the chance that somebody is going to consume 7 hours worth of content with short form TikTok videos? 0, right? Unless they're with you for a very long time. What are the chances somebody's going to consume 7 hours worth of YouTube content? Pretty good. Podcast? Absolutely. So where people are going to engage with you for a very long time, that's how you're going to create the hopper. That's where you're going to create the bonding. You're going to turn a cold prospect into a really warm prospect. But the hot prospect, the hot audiences are in your conversion, and that is always email. Why? Because email to this day is still the #1 converting platform. You can send an email, get clicks, and get sales right away. It is still to this day the highest converting channel. Now if we want to build an audience that buys, whether you're selling physical products or you are selling high ticket courses, I don't care. You've got to have all 3 of these if you're going to build an audience that grows organically and grows your business for a really long time. So the trick of the game here is marrying these 3 pieces and tying them together in some way that grows, engages, and leads people to buy. I'll tell you how I'm doing it in 2023. And remember, my strategy changes a little bit during recession times because the buyer cycle gets longer. And people are also less willing to buy your highest price thing right out of the gate. There has to be trust from them buying from you and having a good experience. When we look at building an email list, like some people will write to me and say, how do I build a really big email list? Well, first we have to have a reason for them to give us their email address. So what I'm doing here at capitalism.com is I am currently creating a free course, and I'm doing a free course. It's going to be called The Road to 1 Million. It's going to be probably a 30-day course where I'm just giving away some of my best stuff. It's going to be investing to build a high net worth, how to come up with business ideas, and it's going to be free. And I'm building this with the intention of giving someone just an amazing experience of what it looks like to change their mindset, work with us, come up with ideas. And at the end, my hope is that they obviously want to work with us in some capacity over the long term. And so we'll prove ourselves by creating something really good that's free. Now, if you're selling physical products, this could be a free ebook. This could be a free challenge. This could be a discount code. If you want to make it super simple, just do a discount code for your products and give that away for free, because now you've got a hot list of people who want your stuff. If you haven't even launched yet, you can say, go here to be first in line and save 25% when I launch, and you can build the pre-launch list. Now, this isn't enough on its own. This is where I am bringing people into the conversion platform. Now, if I were to make a free course that was really, really good, but no one ever saw it, that would kind of suck, right? Because I'd have this great course, but nobody to send it to, nobody engaging with it. That's why we have these other 2 pieces in the traffic triangle. Now, the top part of this, we obviously need traffic to put into the free thing. And the way that I will do that is run ads to the free course. And I will also do short form content. So here's your short form TikTok, IG Reels, etc. And guess what this is going to do? This is going to link back to the free course. If I did only those 2 things, I'm ahead of most people. And you will be too. If you want to build an audience of people that buy from you on launch day, a great example is somebody who's in our community. His name is Damien. He launched a cookie company. and the company's called Effin' Good Snacks. You can find it on Amazon. He's crushing it. He's doing a great job. All he did was create short form content that documented the brand. Hey, we have a new cookie flavor. Hey, look at this guy's reaction when he tried our cookies. And he did that several times a week, just documenting what was going on in the business. He did this great video recently where he showed how he was running into trouble at Amazon, how he's getting these emails from Amazon saying they had pulled his listing or they had restricted his listing. He talked about how he was trying to get it unblocked, thanking the people who helped him with this, with advice or writing to Amazon. It was really cool. So he built up exposure from the short form content, and he sends everybody over to a pre-launch list where they're first in line to try the cookies. He comes out of the gate and smashes it. I will use this case study for years because he did such a great job of just doing these two things. So again, if you're selling physical stuff, or if you're still in the process of getting ready to launch your product, that is better than most people because you've got the exposure and you've got people on a conversion list. This is better than most people. If you want to grow really fast, run ads. So one of the ways that I'm doing this is we're running ads to a book funnel. So the whole point of the book funnel is to break even. So we've got a low dollar book. It's my book, sold 150 to 200,000 copies of it. And we're doing a digital copy of it for $7 and we're running ads to it. Now what that does is it breaks even. Like right now we lose money on it, but we're running ads to get exposure. And then when someone buys the book, they're on our email list. And so we're able to grow the list of buyers by running ads. And when they buy, they're on our email list. Make sense? Now here's the death grip. Here's where we really create the type of audience that wants to buy from us over and over and over again. It's when we layer in the hopper. So once again, if we just have traffic in the traffic and the conversion source, we're better than most people. But the death grip is when we have some way to engage with them over and over and over again. Facebook group is going to be the easiest way to start. So here is how that would work. In my free course that I'm creating, again, it's going to be called The Road to 1 Million. It's not available right now. It's not ready. You'll see it when it's ready. But when we run ads to the free course, they'll opt in. They'll give us their email address. Yay, we got two things now. We got the traffic, we've got the email address. But on the thank you page for the free giveaway, we're going to invite them to this Facebook group. The Facebook group is going to be called The Road to 1 Million. And it's going to be where everyone who is going through this free course can engage together. Now, what have I done there? I've now completed the traffic triangle where I am getting the person to see me and my content in 3 different sources. Psychologically, if you see someone in 3 places, you feel bonded to them. Now, if I can get them into my Facebook group after seeing an ad and being on my email list, someone is bonded to me. And I have the ability to stay in front of them almost all the time because I can send them an email. I can send them a notification by tagging them in my group, and they're seeing my ads and my retargeting ads or my short form content. It's not like I'm everywhere. It's going to be pretty easy to get that 7 hours of interaction for that prospect. Now, I personally like to create content. I like to teach this kind of stuff. I like to be on stage. I like to make videos. So my death grip in all of this is that I'm sending follow-up emails to the email list to my long-form content, like this lesson right here. And the YouTube channel and the podcast serve as the hopper. I don't take sponsorships on my content, at least as of right now. I don't really care about, monetizing my channel all that much. I care about engaging the people who are following my work, because this is where I can deliver a ton of value. This is where I can grow in exposure for a very long time. And this is where I can serve the people who are paying attention and build trust and goodwill with those prospects and followers. Now, at this point, half of you are like, oh, this sounds like a lot of work. Well, you don't have to create a ton of content. You could just create a Facebook group and interact with people here. So I'll give you an example. I have a company. I sold a company in 2017. I just bought it back for pennies on the dollar because the group that bought it ran it into the ground. And we're now running the traffic triangle to build up a list of our ideal prospects, which is fit dads or dads who want to be fit. The company's called Sheer Strength Labs. Don't look it up. It should be called Shit Strength right now because the company sucks right now. The products are great, but the company sucks, and I have to fix that because previous ownership ran it into the ground. And what are we doing to build up the traffic triangle? We are running ads to a book funnel. The book is called From Dad Bod to Father Figure. When they buy, they're on an email list, and we're going to create a Facebook group where they're going to be engaged with, where people who are going through the book, who are buying our supplements, are engaging in that group. Traffic triangle complete. And now we have a list of people who want to come back over and over and over again. So check this out. If you do this right, you get organic growth across all three channels. Because if you've got a Facebook group, or if you've got a YouTube channel, or if you've got a podcast and it's decent, you're not only going to engage the people who are already on your list, you're going to get people who share it. You're going to get people who invite other people into the challenge. You're going to get people who invite each other into the Facebook group. Well-done Facebook groups can add 100 to 500 people a day that are engaging with the rest of this community. And when they engage, you can have processes to put them on an email list. And guess what? If your emails are decent, you're going to have people who are recommending that. If your short form content or your ads are well done, you're going to build the audience that way. People obsess over getting one of these things right. They try to build massive YouTube channels. They try to build a massive email list. They try to get famous on TikTok. That stuff happens, but it is not predictable. And if you're like most people, like I am, I don't have the biggest audience in the world. I don't have a huge TikTok following. I don't have the body that you want to follow on Instagram. I'm a dad. I don't really know how to dress. I'm not as funny as I think I am. So I'm not going to go viral every time I do a piece of content. Instead, every time I engage with any one of these three pieces of the traffic triangle, I'm just making a deposit in the relationship. When I send an email to my list, it's on the fly, it's from the heart, at least most of the time. And I get feedback from my readers that are like, hey, this was insightful. This helped me on my journey. When I run an ad, I don't just want to sell something, I want to connect with somebody. When I do a short form piece of content, I hope that it engages with somebody a little bit, that they might share it with somebody else. And when I am doing a YouTube video or I'm building a Facebook group or whatever it is, it's one more deposit into that person's experience. And as a result, I can have a 7-figure business, a multi-7-figure business. Hopefully headed towards 8-figure business by the end of this year. That's our goal. By having kind of a small audience. Again, my audience isn't huge, but it buys. And that's always been the case with all my businesses. Sheer Strength, at its peak, was doing about a $10 million run rate. We never had an email list more than like 15,000. We did have a Facebook group, but it wasn't very big. It was like maybe 1,000 people. It was not a big audience, but it was enough to have an 8-figure exit. And when you realize that you only need a few hundred or a few thousand people to have a multi-7-figure business, this doesn't seem so daunting anymore. So let's clean this up into like an action plan that you might be able to use. your first step is to say, okay, like, how am I going to create something that would be meaningful to someone's life? And if you are selling weight loss supplements, for example, you might do a free weight loss course, or a free keto diet recipe book, or some accountability group via email. I don't know. It's your business. You come up with it. But the minimal viable thing that you could do is some sort of coupon for a future purchase. That's enough to get them on the list. And we want to have some place that we're going to engage with them. The simplest is going to be a Facebook group because we don't have to create a ton of content. So if we now have something free and some place to engage them, we just got to get awareness for it. And you have your option of either content or paid. You can pay to play, which is fastest, or you can go free, which requires that you take short form content and you create enough of it to get some awareness, like Damien did in the earlier example. This isn't rocket science. It just requires you to remember that every lead matters, that every eyeball is the potential to impact someone's life, and that when they see you in 3 places, they are likely to engage with other people, go through your short form content, which is going to boost you in the algorithm, which is going to make them share it with other people and get in front of lots of other people. Over time, what starts to happen is you start to get a little bit of traction on the short form content. You start to get a little bit of traction in the Facebook group. You start to get a small email list, and then you launch your second product, or you pre-sell your first product. And what happens is that your group of 800 people and your email list of 1,600 people buys at a very high rate. And you sell 300 units of your first product. And you're like, oh my goodness, I have something here. And then what happens? Since all these people are so bonded to you, they are much more likely to leave a review. And when they leave a review, your conversion rates go up. And as your conversion rates go up, you're able to spend more money on advertising. And as you spend more money on advertising, you're getting more customers. And as you're getting more customers, there's more people who are joining your email list. There's more people who are going through your engagement content, and your audience is starting to build. And over the course of a year, you can have a group of people that buy from you over and over and over again, which makes it very straightforward for you to have 4 products that get 25 sales a day at a $30 price point, which is $1 million business. So what most people want to do is they want to come out of the gate with a big audience. They want to go viral. They want to launch to a big email list. But I get why. It'd be great to come out of the gate with a big smash, and that happens. But the more predictable way to do it is to consistently pump out content or engagement through these 3 places and build up a long-term goodwill with a small group of people. And as that small group of people gets good results, they tell other people about it. The way, again, that I'm doing this is before the end of this quarter, I'm going to have this free course that's going to be really good. And people will read the emails, they'll get results, and they'll be posting about it in the Facebook group. I will be screenshotting the feedback from the Facebook group, and I will be taking the clips from the lives that I do in this Facebook group to keep engaging with people, and I'll turn that into short form content, and I'll turn it into Instagram stories. That will grow the exposure that builds both of these, and the snowball continues to build. That's it. That's how you build an audience in 2023. Remember that it's actually true that the longer the life cycle of a lead, the higher the conversion rate, the better the goodwill, and the faster the audience will grow in the long term. So lengthening this buyer cycle and going through this recession is actually really good for a lot of businesses to build the foundational work that is going to set them up for the next 5, 10 years and have a really, really big exit. So this is how I'm building my audience in 2023. This is how I am recommending that our clients and our members build audiences. And when they do it, they smash a launch, they get to 25 sales a day, and they have the foundation of a 7-figure business. If you want help starting that, find some free resources in the description of this video. It will put you on my email list. Later, I'll have the free course, which you will go through. You'll love it. You'll get into our hopper. You'll start engaging with my content more, and then you'll be able to justify buying our stuff. That, my friends, is how to build an audience over the next year that sets you financially free for life. If you found value in this video, hit the subscribe button and let me know in the comments what you took away from it, and I'll engage with you there. Thanks for watching. I'm Ryan Daniel Moran with Capitalism.com. This is part of how I help entrepreneurs build 7-figure businesses. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you on the next video. See ya.